Okay, so let's dive into our DataMiner Cube and Visio setup. As you can see here, I've created a copy for the advanced setup, which is largely the same as the one we've used in the basic training. Just one small difference in the protocol. We have an additional number of options for the line times, which I will explain in a minute. The protocol will again be added to the training files. Okay, so let's go into Visio. And previously we had only one connection, so we'll need to add a filter. So add a new data field. The subscription filter, similar to what we've done for the shapes previously. Okay, and we're going to filter by value trio 8. And number 1 is just the solid line. Okay, so we'll keep this one. Okay, and then I'll create a duplicate, just control drag. Oops. Okay, I'll create a few to start with. Alright, and then we have a number of options. First one is the edge mode. So to activate it, you just add another pipe to the connection shape data and edge mode X or edge mode Y as you want. Do the same here. So let's just copy and paste. Okay, delete these two for now. So we have the edge modes, and then let's take a quick look. So 1, 2, 3, 4 should be 4 and 5. So we're gonna use filter 4 for the X and filter 5 for the Y, and then also need to change the option here. Okay, that should do it. Let's save and go back to DataMiner. Okay, so now you see our connections have disappeared because we are not matching. It should be matching. Just let me take a look again. Okay, so solid is probably the 0. Count 0 based. Yes, right, and then I'll also have to change the other two connections, so that will be 3 and 4. Okay, save again. Okay, so by default the connections are drawn to the center points, or actually the center of rotation of the shapes. So if we go into Visio, you will see when you select the shape, you have on top here the rotation icon, which you can use to rotate the shape. And you have also the little dot here in the center. If you hover it with your mouse, it will become like a kind of bullseye. And that is the center of rotation. You also get a pop-up there, and you can move it around if you like. So if I now rotate it will rotate around that point, but we don't want to change it right now, so I'll just revert those changes. Just remember that if you ever need to change it, you can move that center point of rotation. Okay, let's go back and we'll change our connections. So I'll change from solid type to Edge mode Edge mode X. And as you can see, it's making a small change here. Let's make some additional space to have it more clearly. So it's now using the sides of the shapes to draw the connection. So the center of the sides of the shape in X or Y direction. And no longer the center of the rotation center of the shape. So I'm gonna change these other two to use Edge mode Y. Okay, and as you can see, they've also changed and they are now also using the sides, but the top or bottom. So instead of drawing the lines towards the center, it will draw towards the center of the sides, either in X direction or Y direction. This is mainly handy with transparent shapes. Let's quickly show that. So if I change the fill of my shape, fill options, let's make it about 50% transparent. I'm gonna do the same with the circle here. Okay, save this. Okay, so you can see, now you can see the map partly through the shapes and the connectors are moving to the sides. If I'm using the standard connectors, so let's switch back to solid. You can see they go through the shape right into the center of the shape, or where the center of rotation was, to be exact. But on transparent shapes that does not look very nice. So if you're using transparent or semi-transparent shapes, it's better to use one of the edge modes. Let's switch back. Okay, that looks nicer. All right, then the second option I want to show you is the multi-line option. So let's go back into Visio. I'm gonna add, or yeah, just add one more. Okay, switch them around. I'll remove the edge mode, and instead of the edge mode we will be using the multiple lines mode. Okay, so let's quickly check which option we need for that. That would be option number 5. Okay. Save. And we go back, still looking exactly the same. So I'm gonna switch to the multi-line default. Okay, apply these. As you can see, it's moving back to the center, but other than that, we don't see any changes. So in order to see some changes, I'll quickly go into the data page, add another connection between shape 3 and 1. And this should also use the multi-line type. Okay, save all of these and go back to the visual. And as you can see now, the two lines are individually drawn between the shapes, and they have quite some distance between them. So if you're working with really small shapes, that might not be desirable. So we have an additional option for the multi-lines where you can change the distance between the two lines. So go back into Visio, can make a copy. Right, and in addition to the multiple lines mode, we're going to set the line distance. Line distance, yes, and use another filter on this one. Okay, can I use just copy and paste once more, and gonna use line distance 3 on this one to visualize the difference. Okay, that's 7. Save and go back to DataMiner cube. Okay, so still the same here. I'm going to switch the double lines to the 2x. So that's where the multi-line is set to distance 2, or the multi-line distance is set to 2. So as you can see, these lines are now closer together. So it's about 2 times the thickness of the line that is in between the lines. If we change it to 3 times, you can see the spacing is a bit bigger there. Maybe just to visualize it better, I'll add one more connection between 1 and 2, and use the 2x on this so you can see the difference in the same image. Okay, that should do it. Okay, back to the visual. Okay, and as you can see here, maybe gonna give it a little drag so the difference becomes clear. It's hard with the other connection here. Let's remove that one for now. Okay, and if we zoom in a little, you can see there's some difference here. So the 2x, which are these lines, are spaced closer together than the 3x lines. So you can play around with the line distance number to get some result you like. Okay, so that's it for the extension on the connection lines.